Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I'm your melanated queen and your hostess, Lil Foxy, aka Seven Wonder. You can also call me Shanae. My apologies for starting a little late, but y'all had to get something to eat because my stomach was on grr. Okay, so I want to start off saying I hope you all are having a wonderful day today. Heute ist Sonntag. Today is Sunday, the day of the sun. And today it is approximately 56 degrees where I am located, you all. So, with that being said, I just want to send a special shout out to all of the Brown Girls Are Beautiful supporters out there. Thank you so much for all the customers, the clientele, the subscribers. You all, I'm going to tie my hair back a little bit because it's in the way and I need to wash it, but that's neither here nor there. Today, we are here to talk about the Travis Scott concert, the Astroworld Fest, and also reality versus perception, because I think sometimes people get things misconstrued. Okay, and I want to delve a little bit deeper into that. If you all follow my Instagram page, you know I talked about this the other night about the spiritual and the ritualistic practices that took place. However, I also feel that we need to, before I get into this, I want to say, my condolences to those that were injured, okay, and those that lost their lives, and especially to the family members that are still mourning today, because although our lives go on, we have to remember that the family members and the victims that were impacted, they have to live on a daily basis, knowing that this is the permanent ramifications of what happened at this festival. And although they may want to escape it, they can never turn back the hands of time and get their family members back, okay? In this earthly realm and that flesh and that body. Also, when they log on to YouTube or if they're online, everybody is talking about it. So it is, a very sensitive topic. And there could be people who also can relate to this because, as you all know, this is not the first time that fangoers have died in a concert. Okay. There are many deaths that occur a lot of times at these shows that we're not privy to. It's just that this time it's been magnified and a lot of attention has been brought to it for whatever reason. If you all are familiar with the Woodstock concerts, you know that those concerts can get very rowdy. And I just want to delve a little bit deeper into the whole scenario about Travis Scott, what people can expect when they go to his shows, and also the fact that Live Nation is extremely involved in this situation, you all. So we're going to actually delve into those topics. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to play some videos and we're going to look at the footage, okay? Because I want to talk about the symbolism. I also want to talk about the culpability here. It is my opinion that there are a culmination of events, a culmination of factors that led to the culpability of what happened, okay? And unfortunately, this led to people's lives being lost, okay? So let's go ahead and examine this. I don't know if YouTube is going to allow me to play certain videos because YouTube is very sensitive, you all. So sometimes when I'm sharing videos, they might come up and try to say that's a copyright claim, especially if music is involved, especially if this is coming off another site. So just, I say just be very wary of YouTube, you all. I haven't posted for a while, so I'm glad to be back with you all live. I've been extremely busy behind the scenes. I've been working on the brand. I've been doing other things. You also know that I'm also a licensed realtor outside of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. So I've had a lot of things going on, but I am very glad to be with you here today so we can talk about this because we get to actually touch on a multitude of topics with this subject matter. So let's go ahead and begin. And I'm going to share my screen, you all. Please bear with me because y'all know I've been struggling, especially because I've been off YouTube for a while. So I do not recall the little nuances, but we're going to get through this, okay? Because I think this is a very interesting and a very important topic. So let's get on with it.
yeah, 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 okay, yeah, okay, yeah, 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 yeah. So figure same plan, that was an escape plan. Investigated, that shit was a investigation. We should just started racing, but yeah, open gates. This shit just stop raining. We out the base, we don't want no way fake. She feeling anxious to be up with Davis. About to change it, especially how big. Jamaican thing that she mixed up in her. That's right.
All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm going to pause it right there, okay? Because this is what I want to talk about. So as you can see, Travis Scott, he's a very hype individual. If you have ever listened to his music, he has the heavy, deep bass lines. He has the lower vibrational frequencies. And even when that first started off, if you pay attention to him, you can hear like the keyboard, the organs, that whole arrangement of chords. I don't know if any of you have ever taken music theory before, but I have. I have actually a degree in music. And so there are certain chords, minors, major keys that you can hit to invoke certain emotions if you're trying to convey a message in music. Okay. This is why classical music is played in a certain frequency and a certain tone. Also, all of you are aware of the megahertz that are applied to a lot of this heavy bassline music. We hear it in 3-6 Mafia. We hear it with the Migos. We hear it with ASAP Rocky. We hear it with Lil Yachty. All of these people that we listen to on the radio basically practice the same baseline in these heavy frequencies. Now, with that being said, it sounded to me, what I got out of it is like when you go to church and you hear the church organ being played, it sounded like a funeral. Okay, but it also builds up into like the augmented chords and the diminished chords. Okay, and if I had my keyboard in here, we could actually take a listen to that. But maybe we'll pull this up on the live stream and I'll pull a video up so you can hear what these chords sound like. You all know when you watch a horror film, they have the suspense music, suspenseful music. Your heart starts beating fast. They're building up suspense. Same thing here. This is the same scenario. Now, I do want to point out the fact that there is red. Okay. So in the video, you saw that there was like a red bird set on fire. Okay. That's one thing that I noticed. I also noticed that basically people have alluded to the fact that he's coming out of a portal. Okay. But I also want you to pay attention to the shirt he had on, y'all, because his shirt is representative of symbolism as well, which can be alluded to demonic worship. So people got to be real careful when they're entertaining these celebrities. Y'all, I'm just going to check on my sound. Okay. So I don't want to play the entire video because I don't want them saying that this is copyright infringement or whatever. But if you pay attention to his shirt, you all, what you will see is he had devils. The devils are blue, and then they walking through the doorway, and then they turn red, and then they drop off the side of the cliff. Okay, so if you remember the outside of the Astro Festival, you're walking into his mouth. Okay, you are entering one way, and then you enter into the festival, and some people didn't walk back out at all, you all, unfortunately. Okay, all of these things are symbolistic meanings. So let's try to watch some of this, y'all. We're gonna try to get through it. All right, let's skip a little bit of this.
Yes, sir, my team. Drop it. Okay, Houston. So this is what I want to see. When I turn around, I'ma need this side, all the way in the back. We go, boom, boom, boom. I guess I'm the fuck ass. Oh shit, what is that?
Now I want you to pay attention to his shirt. Okay. All right, let's get past some of this, y'all. All right, now I want you to be very wary of the fact that Apple was there recording this, okay? Apple was the one here recording this. So Apple's going to present the best light possible for the whole narrative here, especially because this is being presented to you live at the festival. So they're not going to show you all of the bad things that were taking place. Luckily, because the crowd carries cell phones, you were able to get some of the footage of what actually took place, you all. All right, so we're going to continue looking more into this video.
And I ain't get away, but I'm Mama Cita. Mama Cita. Yes.
I also want y'all to pay attention to the crowd, you all, because there was a certain point at which the crowd had stopped even they were stopped interacting with him. They were not waving their hands. The crowd looked like they were in chaos at one particular point in time. If you really paid attention, because I watched this whole video like twice, and it's at certain points that you see that the crowd stopped being interactive. Like it looks like they were too focused on pandemonium and commotion in the crowd. And I don't know, but most celebrities, most entertainers pick up on the attention from the crowd because they feed off the crowd's attention and their energy. And so at some point, he did have to recognize that something was not right. There are a few times that he did stop the show. There are a few times that he did point out that someone needed assistance. And that same body that we saw floating through the crowd surfing to the edge of the crowd, I believe that's the same guy that succumbed to his injuries and did not make it. Because if you look at his face, that is the same face that was pictured in the list of the 8 people that died. It's now been said that it's 9 people that have passed away from this. And then on top of that, there is a 9-year-old little boy that got crushed because his father passed out while his father was holding him on top of his neck. The father could not breathe. He passed out. And so the boy fell into the crowd. He had injuries to his kidneys, his lungs, and his brain was swollen, you all. So it's a 50-50 chance from what his grandfather was telling the news the other day. This is very saddening and it's very disheartening, you all. So I'm trying to be sensitive here, but we do need to point out that there is something far more sinister and deeper going on. This was just not an act of coincidence, okay? There has been correlation between this Travis Scott concert and the Pearl Jam concert back in 2000. And in one of Travis Scott's videos, you can see him wearing a Pearl Jam shirt, okay? It has been said that in the Pearl Jam concert of May 2000, that 8 people died. People have also correlated the fact that 8 people died in this concert to the 8 flames that they saw shooting up at the beginning of the performance. Okay. And then also up here, if you looked at the top of the screen, you saw like devil-like figures walking up the top of the mountain. I don't know if you all paid attention to that, but that was the theme of the show, in my personal opinion. There was also a video clip, and I'm going to try to find that clip, which shows a devil-like or demonic-like entity or spirit crowd diving into the crowd, you all. It was like a shadow-like figure. And this was not a shadow of a particular human being in the crowd. This was something different. You cannot make this stuff up, y'all. So I just want to say people got to be very careful about the energies that they're tapping into. Okay, certain frequencies that they're tapping into, and they don't understand that they're conjuring up spirits, because this is spiritual manipulation. This is energetic harvesting, you all, at its finest. Okay, this is what you saw take place. And yes, in my personal opinion, this was a sacrifice. This was definitely a sacrifice. Did I think Travis Scott orchestrated the whole ordeal? No, I do not. But do I think that the people in charge of the show knew what they were doing? Yes, because you got to understand, all of the artists that you see, that's why they have the term artist, okay? Even though he's a quote unquote rapper, he's also what they allege to be an artist, y'all. And with that comes the fact that he's being creative. And a lot of times, the way that their album covers are orchestrated are basically not always representative of something that they came up with. This was probably suggested to him by someone, because I doubt heavily that he came up with this whole narrative and this whole theme alone. Okay, he had help. If you look at people's album and CD covers, there are a lot of creative influencers that take part in orchestrating these projects that these artists, quote unquote, rappers put together. Okay, so we need to be very mindful when people say sue Travis Scott. Sue, what about Live Nation? What about the management that was behind this whole orchestrated ordeal? What about the people that hired the security, people that hired the paramedics? Because as you all know, there was a young lady at the age of 22 that was passed out. They got her body on a stretcher, and as they were basically placing her on that stretcher, she was coming over the barricade, and the stretcher tilted over, and she landed on the top of her head, y'all. She hit that pavement hard. I mean, and I really think that was really the way that she ended her life. I think the brain damage is really what caused her to be taken out of this world. Unfortunately, you saw the other day on the news, her family, her mother was crying in tears. People are definitely grieving during this time, you all. It's right before quote unquote Thanksgiving. You know, I don't believe in Thanksgiving. And you can look at other videos about why I don't believe in Thanksgiving. But this is right before the holiday time, y'all, right before Christmas, New Year's. And these people have lost their family members. So just think about, this is going to be a hard time for a lot of people. And if you really pay attention, usually a lot of catastrophic events take place right before the holiday season, unfortunately, y'all. So let's go ahead and continue on. All right, now in the crowd, a lot of people were yelling to stop the show because they knew what was going on. All right, so this is the part. All right, so you see him, right? He's looking down and he's like smiling and laughing. So some of the fans said that Travis Scott was laughing at them when they told him to stop the show. One girl said, "Oh, he was laughing at us. You know, he didn't take us seriously. He just kept going with the show. He thought it was funny." I'm going to be honest. I am kind of confused on that. I don't know why he bent over and started laughing. I'm not sure what the inside joke was about. I'm trying to be objective here. But I will say that majority of the concerts that I've seen, the artist pays attention to the crowd a lot. And at one point, he pointed out that he saw someone in the back. He saw somebody was up in the tree. And I guess a lot of these concert goers, they snuck in. They broke down the barricades and they just started bum rushing the barricades. Okay. So I almost feel like the promoters, the people that were in charge of this show, I think they intentionally did not put up policy and procedure in place as far as security measures are concerned, on purpose. I almost think that because they were going to do this ritualistic practice with Travis Scott, they knew that majority of the people were coming to see Travis Scott, because it was said, when you look him up, when you put in Travis Scott and Google him, it says that he is one of the top, actually the top paid rapper in the world. He's worth $60 million. And on top of that, it said he's the most famous rapper. Now I find that hard to believe because I was never really into Travis Scott like that. I was more of a Tupac person. But Tupac is no longer here. So there's always more people coming down the pipeline. And Travis Scott, you know, he has the hype music. He has like that 3-6 Mafia feel with the rock feel to it. So he appeals to a large audience. He appeals to a lot of Caucasian people. He appeals to a lot of melanated people. And then the people here were also Hispanic. You had the girl that, you know, passed away. She was from the Middle East. So he had a very wide fan base is what I'm getting at, you all. So a lot of people are tapped into this frequency of music, regardless of how they try to portray it in the media. There are so many fangoers and supporters that you would be surprised that listen to this type of music. And I'm pretty sure the people that manage him and that are on, you know, in the company of the Live Nation, they knew this already, okay? Because everything they do is calculated and it's geared toward a fan base. It is geared and it's promoted in a certain way for a certain reason. You all know that at this concert, there was also Master P performed. And I also want to point out there was someone in the crowd holding up a sign saying, "Will he survive?" at the Master P show and also at the Travis Scott show, you all. So pay attention to these connotations and these clues. Why would anybody in the crowd hold up a sign that says, "Will he survive?" Why was that even the case? And the first song that was performed by Travis Scott was called Escape Plan. And a lot of these people were not able to escape. Okay. So I want you to all pay attention to the narrative here that's pushed. This is not by coincidence, you all. This is, in my personal opinion, by design. It was orchestrated this way for a reason. And they used Travis Scott to actually push their agenda. Whether he knew that he was playing a part in it, part of me thinks he may have, and part of me thinks maybe he was not aware of it. But I think at some point he was aware of something that was going on. And it was far more sinister than people just passing out for no reason. You all have to understand that these people know for certain just about how many people are going to see certain celebrities. So if they had these barricades situated in a certain way, there is a reason why people could not escape. And on top of that, we have to actually be objective here. We have to understand that some of these concert goers are almost like children, you know, in the mindset of kids. Because when you think about it, who stampedes people to break through gates? Who pushes and shoves and doesn't care about the lives of other people that are falling down and trampling on them and stampeding them? I don't even think children, and I take that back, children don't act like that. This is more of an animalistic type of mind frame. You got to understand some people before they showed up to the show probably were taking drugs. People probably snuck drugs in there. People probably were drinking. So these people probably, you have a mixture of people that are under the influence and people who are not. You have people who are rowdy and people who are not. And so this is why I asked the question here. And I say this, you know, with condolences. Why would anybody bring their children to something like this? Why would anybody bring their children to something of this magnitude where it gets this rowdy, to something? And just listen to the lyrics, okay? The things that he's saying. I don't even know if they know what he's saying because it's hard to understand everything he's saying, but you can make out some stuff. Kids are very smart. Children are very smart and brilliant. So with those underlying tones, frequencies, the things that he's saying out of his mouth, okay, he's talking about a lot of things that are on a negative, lower vibrational frequency. Why would you bring a child, a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old, however old these children are? Because I did see one child in the audience, and I'm wondering to myself, what parent brings their child to something like this? This is something that you go to with other adults. I don't recommend anybody going to something like this alone. You all know that there was a lady that came out speaking out saying that she came out of state. She's a mother of 2. She's being represented by the alleged lawyer Crump. And she's basically stating that when she came to this show, she came alone. I'm wondering what woman goes to this type of concert alone, because most women think about safety. Most women don't even want to go to the movies by themselves, go out to eat by themselves, let alone go to a concert or a festival alone by themselves. So I found that very like weird and strange. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and continue. Oh, just got a text on my phone. Thank you for letting me know that. I think it's the internet. You all, if my screen gets blurry or fuzzy, it's the internet kicking in and out, because I have this hooked up to my camera, which is a Canon EOS M50. I'm using that as the webcam because it shows clearer. So sometimes the picture might fade in and out. So my apologies for that. But you all, let's go on, because I want to talk more and examine this a little bit closer, you all. All right, so you all see right in here. All right, now I don't know if you could hear the lady just now. She said, "Hey, help," right? I heard that. I don't know if he heard it, but I know I heard it. Okay. And this is over thousands of people screaming. People are out here literally calling for help. And he's talking about, trying to get the crowd hype and stuff. So I know a lot of people say, yeah, Travis Scott should be sued. But if Travis Scott is sued, people really need to bring lawsuits on Live Nation, okay? Because we're going to get into that as well.
Hold on. Turn the lights on. I think I see somebody in the tree. Turn the lights on.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking here. 5 bodies. The police never strapped her up. Absolutely not. They did not strap that young lady up that was on that stretcher. And that's something that most medics know to do. Why would you ever lift a person up and then try to put them over a barricade knowing that they're already unconscious? That is just a recipe for disaster. These people seem like they were very ill-trained. They were very inexperienced. I don't even know if they should have been working this type of show. They even said there were people there that did not know how to properly perform CPR on people that were passed out. One person asked for assistance, and they were working in the medical tent. And they asked one of the crowd goers for some assistance because one of the crowd goers actually works in the medical field. So I'm wondering to myself, who even hired these people? You all heard that they had a security guard, allegedly, quote unquote, security guard, said that he got hired through text message, you all. And I think they were paying him like $17 an hour for something like this. That is an insult, okay? Because you are paying people to guard and safeguard these people's lives. And you don't even have the background on the person to know whether or not they are certified or even qualified to do something like this. So that shows you gross negligence right there. And there will be a lawsuit and people are going to have to pay. And now I want to say that even though the people that came up with this whole orchestrated event is responsible, in my opinion, you have to have responsibility on the crowd goers, because anybody in their right mind knows that when you go to a crowded event, you should not be pushing and shoving. Things can get real out of order. This is why riots ensue. This is why fights ensue. People get to shooting. People do all types of stuff in pandemonium and chaos. And this is how people get trampled and stampeded. People already know this. These are grown adults here, and they're acting in the mind of an animalistic state, an animalistic frame of mind. So that's why I say you have to have culpability where it is basically necessary to place it. You can't just blame all of this on Travis Scott. Travis Scott might tell you, yeah, do a mosh pit, start a mosh pit, jump into the crowd, nosedive. You have choice of picking to say, if I'm going to jump in this crowd, am I going to do a mosh pit? Am I going to start pushing and shoving because Travis Scott told me to do it? Do you know Travis Scott personally? No, he's just an entertainer. Do you think that he would have, what's her name, Kylie Jenner? You think he would push her out there into the crowd and tell her to start a mosh pit, knowing that what can happen, she could be trampled? Do you think that he would push her off the stage like he does his fans and tell them to jump into the crowd? Do you think that he would have Kylie out in the midst of that crowd? No, because we clearly saw where the Kardashians were located. They were in the VIP section and they were sitting there like this, looking like they couldn't be touched by anybody. So when he tells his own fans to do something he would not tell his significant other to do, why would you listen to him? That's just my first question. And I don't know if I've ever seen Travis Scott dive into the crowd, because he probably knows what would happen if he were to do so. Do you think he would push his baby out there, Stormy, and have her in the crowd like this? So you got to pay attention. If these people are not doing it and not subjugating their family members to do it, then why would you do it? Let's continue on.
Lights on, turn the lights on. Make some noise for my boy right there, hanging in the tree right there.
Yes, Five Bodies. This does look like a good concert.
Everybody to the middle, definitely. Up to the sky, because my boy ready to rage. My boy want to rage. Yeah. My boys want to rage. And one thing we know at a show, there is no bystanders at a motherfucking show. Jay-Z. I swear to you. Middle fingers up. Keep them high.
Okay, so you all, let's go on, because someone just sent me something and I want to look at this. Thank you for sending this out to me, Sprite. I want to take a look at this about him bragging. Okay, we're gonna examine that in just a second, y'all. Let me make sure y'all share this live, if you don't mind. I normally don't say that. But yeah, let's go ahead, and if y'all want to join in on the conversation, just let me know. I will send you the link or drop the link or whatever. I'm gonna share this live real quickly, you all. Shout out to Solar God. I know that people are busy, people are doing other things, and you might have a chance to come back and view this live stream when it's all said and done. So we want to make sure we explore different aspects of what's going on here. So let me pull this up. This is the nypost.com. Y'all, we about to check this out. So let me stop sharing my screen for a moment. Y'all, these people are off the chain with it. So they said allegedly Travis Scott was bragging about the hurt people. Oh my God. Okay, so we about to get into it. nypost.com, y'all. So that's why I say I don't believe in celebrity worship, y'all. I talk about this a lot on my channel, on my Instagram. Let's see if we can put Travis Scott brags about hurt people. And I believe that he did this, by the way. Okay, because I saw something where he actually had posted and made some comments on his Instagram page, and he went back and deleted it. And basically, he was giving a shout out to the people that were passed out in the crowd, and he made some disparaging remarks about the people that got hurt at his show. And I just found that right there really triggered me, because it set the precedence and it set the tone that he knew what was going on. And when he was in the crowd singing to that man that died, that man that looked like he was lifeless, I already knew this was spiritual demonic possession taking place before our very eyes. You all just know that they do this in the BET Awards, the music awards, all these award shows that you see, when they see these people dressed up in these different costumes and you're wondering, why are they dressed like that? This is a way of them basically paying homage to a higher life force that's demonic, y'all. And they are partaking in spiritualistic, ritualistic practices when they dress like that. This is why they look weird and strange. And they will pick people and push the narrative that they are far more famous than what they are. If you're not aware, check out, it's a video with Travis Scott's former manager before he made it to being quote unquote famous, you all. And his manager was saying that he had basically a seizure in the basement, and Travis Scott just left him there. Okay. The next day he talked to Travis Scott. Travis Scott said, oh yeah, well, if you're going to be doing stuff like that, I don't need you around. I don't know if you could be doing stuff like that. I don't know if I want to bring T.I. around you. Okay. So basically, if you passed out at his concert, I mean, if you're going to be doing stuff like that, you don't need to come to the show, because you know what I'm saying? So where is the responsibility? You know what I'm saying? And where is the compassion for human life? If he would do that to his own manager, imagine what he'll do to a fan that he cares nothing about. Then on top of it, The manager said they skewed the numbers for Travis Scott, like before he really made it. So on like social platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, whatever social platforms he had, there is a way that you can manipulate the numbers and you can manipulate the following to make it look like he is more infamous, has more popularity than what he really does. You might not be aware, many quote unquote celebrities do this. And when I say celebrities, I'm going to say this again. I don't consider them celebrities. I only use that as a term so people understand and understand what I'm speaking about. Because celebrity means you're celebrating an entity. Okay. These entities to me do not deserve celebrating with my energy. I'd rather take my energy and harness it and focus into my own self, my own brand, my own business, my own life, orchestrate my own reality, you all. Because the more you play into these people's realities and narratives, the more you are basically giving them your energy to harvest for their own selfish gain and purpose. Okay. These people paid 100, 200, 300. Some people paid $400 for a ticket to a show, not knowing if they were going to live or die. Okay. And then to have him to come on and make that disparaging apology that had no type of sympathy involved in it. Basically, look at a person's body language, because body language is 90% of language. He did not seem that he was very, it was very disingenuous. Let's just put it that way. But I want to look at this article, you all. All right. So let me go in here and then I'm going to share my screen, y'all, because we're going to check into this. Thank you for sending that out to me as well. Thank you, Five Bodies. I appreciate it. Oh, you want to join? Just let me know and I will drop the link. Not a problem at all. But we're going to examine this article. Okay, so let's go back here and I'm going to share my screen, y'all. Thank you for sending this. Okay, let's see here. Go to the Chrome tab. Travis Scott. Here we go. All right, you all. Here's the article right here. Now it says years before 8 died at his Astroworld festival, Travis Scott would brag on social media about fans getting hurt and passing out at his shows, even suggesting one would be a hero if he didn't survive a New York gig. That's crazy. Like, I don't even know what person in their right mind that has a fan that would brag about the loss of life. Like, this is crazy. And I don't know why anybody will continue to support somebody that is so heinous. The 30-year-old sicko mode star under fire for playing on at Friday's Houston festivals as 8 died and hundreds were injured, still has disturbing images on his social media celebrating previous scares. So y'all, like I told you earlier, even from this show, and I think he has since deleted on his Instagram the post that he made, I remember seeing where he was bragging about this stuff. And I don't know if it was his publicist or his management told him to take it down, because now he's starting to get lawsuits. Okay. One of the most disturbing posts shows a young man seemingly unconscious at Scott's sold out 2015 show at Manhattan's Webster Hall. To the kid that didn't survive the rodeo, you're a hero in my book, Scott captioned a photo that is still on his page. Okay. So he still has this up on his page. When I talk about spiritualistic rituals, you all, what do you think this is right here? How many of you would have a fan, have a client, have someone support your brand? They are here to support you and you brag about this. I would be so disheartened as the owner, the founder, and CEO of Brown Girls Are Beautiful if I did anything and I injured someone that paid their money to support me. This is ridiculous. It says the image was posted the day after his show with the Young Thug at the East Village venue, just before he also posted a video of the crowd reacting to him playing his song, Quintana, in New York City. This is narcissistic behavior, you all. Okay. That's what that is. Narcissistic behavior. Why in the world would he post something like this of someone passed out and unconscious and then post something like this? You're a hero in my book to the kid that didn't survive the rodeo. This sounds very disingenuous to me. So when we hear him say that he's apologizing to his fans, do you really believe that? So this is why he does have people that are coming out with lawsuits, y'all. Okay. I want to actually find that video where he's singing to the dude that was passed out and unconscious. I'm gonna see if I can find that video. And I should have had this all lined up. Y'all wrote down a whole lot of key points. And so I don't want to make this too long, but there is so much I want to tap into because this is ridiculous, y'all. That it's not just Travis Scott. It's a lot of these celebrities and entertainers that are into this stuff, and y'all are not aware of it. Like I said, the Woodstock festivals, the rock shows, all of these people, they are sacrificing lives in concerts, and people don't believe it. Okay, so let me see. Travis Scott seems to, let's see if we can find that little clip because it's in here. It's definitely in here. Graphic footage from concert goers. All right, let's click on this one and see if it's on here, y'all. It is a freaking shame. I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see this for yourselves. Chrome tab. Okay, here we go. All right, you all. So that guy that you saw on the ground, that was the same guy that I'm talking about that was unconscious, and they basically surfed his body through the crowd. And Travis Scott was actually singing, yeah, 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 like the whole time. It was very like scary to watch, and it looked like some type of demonic possession going on. I want to see if they actually show that clip. So I'm gonna try to see that.
Everybody go to the road. We go to the sky.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I admit it's hard not to start bouncing, y'all, because I used to listen to 3-6 and I'm trying to stay away from this stuff. But that's how these vibrancies and these frequencies work, man. It'll draw you in. Sometimes I have a moment, and I'm blasting and the bass is hitting you, y'all. You know how it is as melanated individuals. We just got rhythm in our bodies and stuff. But that's no reason to be dancing on top of the medical cart. That is no reason to just basically totally disregard the fact that people need help. People are out here unconscious, passed out, and they're trying to get help. And you want to sit up here and get on the medical cart? That is so disrespectful. Because what if it were their family members in that situation? What if it were them and people just disregarded them and started dancing? You can't blame Travis Scott for that. You blame the behavior of the individuals that did this. I don't know how they were raised. And sometimes you can't even blame their family for this, for being raised improperly. You blame them because at some point you have to take accountability. So accountability is missing all across the board. Everybody wants to point the finger and wants someone to blame. Okay, take accountability for your actions. If that's the case, why don't they go and arrest these people that were dancing on the medical equipment when they're trying to help save lives and help save people that were passed out? Why don't they do that? Okay, 5 bodies. I'm definitely gonna drop the link.
Shut the fuck up. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? That don't got to do chasing the show. Travis, okay. Hey. Run! Look, you want to see him running up the hill towards the cops. Right towards the cops. Look at the cops. They coming back! Hey, let's go for we got the case for no reason.
All right, y'all. So who do you blame for that type of behavior? That's my question. Who do you blame?
Continuing our coverage now of the tragedy at Astroworld
My
Festival.
apologies.
Witnesses say it was like nothing they'd ever experienced before.
KPRC2's Mario D.
No, I don't want the news narrative. I want the narrative that was on the ground. The people on the ground that saw what happened. The narrative and the screenshots and the camera footage of the people that were actually in the crowd. I don't want this watered down version that was given to us in the media, because you know they're all on the same team. The CIA, all of those people, all of them control the news outlets and the media. So a lot of people said there were hundreds of bodies that were passed out. Now you let them tell it. They said they even think it was more deaths. But the news is saying it was 8, and then it went up to 9. Now there's a little boy that's fighting for his life. They say he's fighting for it, but really, I don't know. I mean, it's just sad, y'all. So we really don't know the true figures. So you all, I did drop the link if somebody wanted to come on and discuss this. Now, if I drop the link and you try to click on it, please let me know in the chat section so I can try to bring you on. Okay. Because I'm still learning how to work this. But anyway, y'all, it's just sad, you know. And also, I wanted to point out that this took place at a place called Energy Park. N as in Nancy, R as in Rainbow, G as in Gregory. Energy Park, when you put it all together, you're manifesting energy, y'all. So like I said, this was orchestrated. These people knew what they were doing. And if y'all also, I wanted to pay attention to the layout of the venue as well. Energy Park. Let's look this up so y'all can see exactly what this looks like. Okay. So we're on here. We're going to look up Energy Park, y'all. Let's see if they give us some images of what this looks like. All right, so let me share the screen. All right, here's Energy Park. Okay, it's located near the NRG Stadium, y'all. So just understand that they knew what they were doing. They were harvesting energy in this crowd. I don't think all of this stuff was by coincidence. Okay. So Green Fork Salad, Houston Livestock Show. I've never been to Houston. I've been to Dallas. Houston, from my understanding, is about 4 hours from Dallas. Houston is where Beyonce derives. Now, I want y'all to pay attention because Beyonce just announced a new song right after this happened as well, okay? Drake came out to perform. People trying to sue Drake. We all know Drake is an actor, okay? All that stuff Drake talks about in his songs, we know he never did it. Y'all, these people are actors. And I wanted to get into the background, too, of Travis Scott. Travis Scott's background. All right, so let's look into that, y'all, since he talks about all these things in his music. Now, did he ever do this stuff? Probably not. Did he believe the stuff that he was rapping? No. He's an entertainer, and you have people following an entertainer. So let's look at his parents, because a lot of you all are not aware that these celebrities came from both parents. Okay, they had a 2-parent household, and he came from the suburbs. Okay, Now, it says people ask about his family. Who is his mother? Wanda Webster. Okay, let me share the screen so you can see her, because she used to actually work for Apple, you all. Sorry, not trying to do that. She used to work for Apple. So when it comes to his rap career, okay, when it comes to his rap career, you got to understand that these people are set up to achieve what they're trying to do. Okay, it's not like he was so multifaceted, multi-talented. He had help. Okay, this is his mother. Okay, Wanda Webster, mother of Travis Scott, is the mother of famous rapper Travis Scott, married to Jacquees Webster. The couple have 3 children. Okay, and I just looked this up the other day. This is what she looks like. All right. So in here, I think that's Travis Scott right there. This probably is his father. It says her husband ran his own business and was also a soul musician. Okay. He comes from a background of musicians, and not just that, his grandfather was also a musician. Most of these rappers, these artists, these entertainers, they are connected to someone that could get them the success that they're looking for. It says when their children were still a kid, her husband Jacquees quit his job to pursue a music career that he did not succeed. Wanda used to work at an Apple store selling phones to provide for their family when her husband stopped working. Looking at their mother struggling to provide for the family, Wanda became the best example for her son, Travis, to achieve his dreams, raising a rap sensation. He was born April 30th, 1992, so he's 31 years old. He was born to parents. Okay. His real name is Jacquees Berman Webster II. In honor of his favorite uncle, he adopted his uncle's first name, Travis, as a stage name, and Scott is his nickname, you all. So that's not even his real name. He loved playing drums when he was 3. He played the piano as well, but did not continue with it. And then he says his debut album is The Rodeo, was released September 5th, 2015. Led by the hit single Antidote, which became 82 on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. After that, his album Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight was released in 2016, which became his first album. All right, then he had a song called Sicko Mode. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. All right. I'm very excited to be a grandma. So he spent time with his grandmother from the age of like 1 to 6, you all. And I think his grandmother lived in the hood. But for the most part, he comes from a suburban background life, believe it or not. Okay. This is his daughter, Stormy, that he had with Kylie. Broke up with the baby's child's mother or whatever. But we saw that she was at the show. Okay. Because she was in the VIP section looking like she was looking. And they said they actually escorted her off. Okay. The set. She got escorted off with like 6 bodyguards, y'all, big bodyguards. And they said her and her sister were looking down like this with their faces covered so nobody would recognize them. And they were walking past the bodies. So they understand what's going on. You also have to understand that the Kardashians partake in witchcraft. Okay. They are witches. Okay. Yes, they do this. And they are from Arabia. They are Arabian witches. This is why you hear so many stories happen with the guys that they get involved with. Their lives, okay, take a drastic turn. If you really pay attention, look at Kanye West, okay? When at his concert back in 2017, you remember when he came out with that Pablo album? You remember when he started telling the truth? I played this on my last live streams, and he got snatched off the stage. Well, they took him to a facility, okay? And it is my opinion, all right, that they did something to him. Now, some people speculated that Kanye could have been cloned. I don't really know. Okay, but all of this stuff plays a role in what's going on behind the music scenes with the spiritualistic, demonic stuff. So when I titled the video saying reality versus perception and perception versus reality, I say that for a reason, because everything you see is not actually the reality that you think it is. Okay, it is a perception of what you think reality is. People think that a lot of these people made it this far because they were just that talented. Well, they were not. They had a lot of help behind the scenes. Okay. Now it says that his father was a musician. However, I was watching something. Y'all might want to check out this channel that I am watching. And it tells you the backstory behind how a lot of these people become rappers. I'm going to see if I can pull that up so you all can see that as well, because it's very interesting. What's up, Solar God? Not to divert or anything, but you look so beautiful this evening. Thank you. And it's sad that this happened because I really don't see the hype behind Travis Scott at all. Neither do I. Neither do I. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I listen to a lot of hype music, y'all. Like, when I'm in the car by myself, I mean, you can just bang and turn it up, the bass. Y'all, I had a subwoofer in my car, like my first car. My second car had a subwoofer. I mean, music and bass is very important to me. I just love music. But you got to draw the line somewhere. When you understand the ritualistic demonic practices that take place, that's where you cut off the celebrity worship. Okay. So, like, you're not going to get me to go to a Travis Scott concert. The last concert that I think I went to was probably Anthony Hamilton. And that's because Anthony Hamilton is really talented. I actually met him at the airport, y'all. He's very down to earth. He saw me trying to take pictures of him on the slide, and I was telling my sister, because we flew in together, but we were on different flights, so I had to wait for her. So I'm standing there. Yeah, Travis Scott is overrated, Solar God. I agree. So I'm sitting there waiting for my sister to get off the flight or whatever. We on the phone. I'm talking to her. I'm like, girl, I think this is Anthony Hamilton right here. I was like, he's just a couple of feet away from me. So I was like, because he's a big bodyguard. And I was like, he got this big thing that he's carrying, like his musical, whatever he had. So I'm just trying to like slyly snap a picture because I didn't want to like blow his spot up and stuff. So look, he turned around and he looked at me. He was like posing. He said, did you get it? So I started laughing. I was like, yeah, I got it. And I was like, I didn't want to blow your spot up or anything. So my sister, now she's funny, y'all. She gets off the plane. She's walking. She's trying to find me. So, like, you know where the seats are located in front of the luggage section, right? She's walking behind me in the luggage section. So I see her with her phone. She like, this girl, where he at? Because she can't see too well. As young as she is, she got a vision problem. So she like, girl, where he at? So she turned around. She looked at me. She started laughing, right? She's like, oh. So she coming over there. The next thing I know, like, I try not to like go approach Anthony Hamilton because I'm like trying to give him his privacy and stuff like that. But I did see people like walking up to him and stuff. So I figured it was really him. So then the next thing I know, I look over there, my sister, her and Anthony Hamilton, they having a whole live conversation. So I was like, oh, so it must be cool to approach him. So I go over there trying to have respect for him. And I said, I just didn't want to blow your spot up or whatever. So we had like a quick conversation. So he let me take a picture with him. My sister took a picture with him. And he was really down to earth, very personable. I told him about the last concert. I was like, it was like 2006. I took my mother for her birthday. And I was telling him about that whole experience. He was like, yeah, what year was this? So yeah, people like that. That's who I respect. But like a Travis Scott type individual, there is no way you would get me to buy $100 ticket, let alone a $400 ticket. And I think back then the tickets for like Anthony Hamilton, I don't know, they might have been like $60, y'all. So anyway, even like after his concert, he sounds just like his CD. We thought the show was over. He kept the show going, right? So we walked up to the stage. I touched his hand. Y'all, I touched Anthony Hamilton's hand. Let me stop. I was on stage with LL before, y'all, and I can tell you the whole story about that. Okay, so let me let you know how a mature person behaves, okay, around a quote unquote celebrity. So back then, y'all, this was in my younger day. Okay, now I was supposed to be working that evening. So this particular day, I already knew in my head I was going to see LL because I loved LL back in the day. I just liked the way he looked. Y'all know how it was, ladies. So I made up this story. I told the job, I was like, I got to go pick my aunt up from the airport, y'all. This is totally off topic, totally off subject, but I'm just telling y'all what happened. So who goes to the show? I don't even know if I should be telling this. My mama goes to the show with me, y'all. So we both there at the LL show. So we get up there and we're all the way kind of like at the front stage where the barricade is, right? So people were trying to sneak, to get closer or whatever. So the security guard was stopping people, for some reason. he started calling people to the stage. He was like 10 people to the stage. My mama was like, if they call 10 people, you getting on that stage, right? Because she knew how much I liked LL. Yeah, I had on a skirt. I had on like some sandals. Do you know I lost my earring, first of all? She pushed me over the barricade. I got over the thing, got on the stage. One of my shoes was missing, but I was up there dancing with LL, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you what song it was. It was the one with him and Jennifer Lopez. It's time to make you dance. That song. So when he got to me, y'all, he had the microphone in his hand. He was like, I was like, oh, look at him. And so, I touched his arm. But let me tell you what the rest of the females did. This is how you know they don't know how to act and they have no home training. So LL could not even move, y'all. So every time he had the mic in his hand and he was working the stage, you know how like they'll walk from side to side? They were literally following him on the stage, running behind him. He couldn't even move because he had a flock of females running behind him on stage. I stayed in my position. I stayed where I was at. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, they got the news camera crew out here. This is going to be on live news channel 8. Y'all, my job going to see this. I was like, whatever. It don't matter. It is what it is, y'all. But you don't act like that for any person in this world. Like, y'all act like this is the creator of all, the creator of the universe, that y'all are watching behind these celebrities. Like, give the man some room and some space so he can perform. You don't run after him. Like, what is wrong with people? Anyway, y'all, that's just my quick rendition of my celebrity encounters. You all, I also met Teddy Riley, y'all. Let me tell you about that real quick. Teddy Riley came to where I used to work. It was a place, it was an amusement park. He was there with his family and his I think he had like 2 children at the time. So back then I was a server. And now I was working in the little restaurant place or whatever. So he came in there and I saw a group of people gather, including the managers. I'm like, wow, all these people gathered around like this. So he walks in with his bodyguard and he looked just like Teddy Riley. But me being skeptical, I'm just listening to people talk to him. So when he came through the thing and he wanted to, his order or whatever, I said, excuse me, what's your name? He said, Teddy. I said, oh, okay. I said, I thought they were lying. But I let the man just be himself because he's there with his family. Like, y'all don't need to inundate people when they're just trying to have a good time. So that was my little rendition of meeting Teddy Riley, y'all. It's a wonder I'm not, out there, but y'all, I wish I could sing. I cannot sing, but I love music so much. So my apologies for just going off on a tangent. All right. So, like I said, we want to get back more into what was going on here with Travis Scott, y'all. I want y'all to pay attention to the dynamics that took place because a lot of these people said they could not breathe. Okay. Where did we hear this narrative before? We heard this in the George Floyd situation. George Floyd, I Can't Breathe t-shirt started coming into fruition from that funeral, which was also a spiritualistic, ritualistic practice that took place with politicians, y'all. You had what's his name? The Bridges guy, Ludacris. You had T.I. All these people showed up to the funeral. Did they know George Floyd? I don't know. They said George Floyd was an actor. If you don't believe me, look it up. Okay. So let's think about when people said they could not breathe. They could not breathe at this Travis Scott concert. Okay. And that was definitely orchestrated purposely. Then people said they could not breathe at another time. When was that? Wearing these face masks. That's how we're going to get into the fact that COVID is some nonsense, y'all. Why is it nonsense? Because if this is such a big major issue taking place across the globe, not even just the United States, but all around the world, you allow these people to come in without the COVID screening, the cards to say they were vaccinated, but you let them be jam-packed together at a freaking concert. Okay. That's what you allow. And nobody had on a face mask. Okay. Nobody had on a face mask. Now, these people couldn't breathe because they said their chests were compressed together so much to the point that they could not even inhale and exhale. That is a problem. There is no quote unquote celebrity in the world that is worth me risking and dying over. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. I don't care. Yeah, I take that back. I saw Janet like a year or 2 ago. Okay. But it was nothing like all of this madness that took place at the Travis Scott show. All right. So I Can't Breathe is the narrative that keeps perpetuating itself over and over that we see taking place here. And I want y'all to pay attention because, again, it's ritualistic, spiritualistic practices. Wordplay is going on here. So that's why you have to be very careful about pushing these narratives and these agendas. All right. What else did I want to get into? Because I took notes, y'all. We talked about the hertz, the megahertz, the frequencies, all of that stuff invokes certain spiritualistic vibrations inside of people. We talked about what happens at these shows. I'm going to say use your own senses and interests against you. Okay, so they use your own, everything that they like, that you like, they use it against you. We already know that. Your taste. That's why they put sugar in food. That's poison. Okay. They use the music against you to basically antagonize. Well, they use it to weaponize you. They weaponize you with the music. We all know that. I've already talked about that on this channel. Okay. Now, well, I'm going to say this again. What good is it to inherit the riches of the world but lose your soul? Okay. Because let's just take into account that Travis Scott is a millionaire. Okay. But he has lost his soul, y'all. His soul is already sold. So what he did was he basically harvested energy from the souls at his concert, and it's disgusting, y'all. Okay. The thing about Drake said some disparaging things in the show, and what he said was, for him to be able to pull this off, I don't know if y'all saw that, but he was talking about for Travis Scott to be able to pull this off, it was basically amazing. And I think what he meant was not just performing. What he meant was this ritualistic practice that we saw taking place. So let's look a little bit more into the show, y'all. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look more into what took place here. All right, let's share the screen. All right, y'all. Enough of that. Enough of that. I just cannot. I would not be able to just listen to this all day, every day. Like, I can't listen to this in the car. After enough of that, it's like you got to turn it off at some point. That's why a lot of these people were going insane out there. Okay, I just can't. I'm sorry, y'all.
Wonderful, she don't wanna leave. She jump up, bounce back like trampoline.
All right, so you get an idea of what the atmosphere was like in the crowd. That's why I said it's no way I would bring a child to something like this. Now, it gets weird towards the end of the show, y'all. At the beginning, they were more excited, but towards like the middle to the end, the crowd stopped really engaging. If you really paid attention, because I watched this whole thing, like I told you, twice, and the crowd was not really engaging like they were at first, because it started to be like pandemonium and chaos, and people were not being that interactive. You can hear them yelling. right, this is when they're gonna lift him up and he's gonna perform the song. This is it right here, highest in the room.
Yeah, cussing the thieves, cussing the weed. I had to cuss in the vibe, cussing the lead. Cover the back of the line, cover back of the D. Cover your eyes, cut in the back of the D. Yeah, I never sleep, just like the trap in the feed. Yeah, I'm in the read, really ain't nothing to see. I gotta travel the beat, I like to travel the heat. We got a bag of the weed, did I tell you I got no weed? I had to travel the weed, flew it out in the relief. Thinking that ain't a D, rather you leave. Then you go back, I don't bleed. Don't know no daggers at me. You gotta shoot him at D. You know my die supreme. I put in hours this week. Moving at rapid speed. Like it's a track with me. We got a time to see. We got a problem thing that's time. Oh, shit. At the club, shit. We been fucked. Back to back. Show. We fuck. Shit. Slow. Shit. Slow. Shit. Slow. Back. Like you think with a bounce. You all in the town.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, you get the idea. There is a point, and I was trying to find that clip where the guy basically he was unconscious and they're floating his body through the crowd. It's all over YouTube. It's all over the internet. You'll see it. I'll try to find it for y'all though. I'll try to look for that because that's the part that really had me. When I saw that, I'm like, who does that? Who sings to a body that's being floated through the crowd and they're unconscious? Okay, I don't know who does that. So let's see. Travis Scott. It's crazy. Sings to unconscious. And I don't know what PR team he has right now, but I want to know how they're going to clean this up. Here it is. Here it is, y'all. Let me go ahead and share this. This is exactly what I wanted to show y'all. Here we go, y'all. You tell me if this is not demonic and weird and strange. Okay. Now, in my opinion, he looked like he was looking right at the dude. He looked like he was looking right at that dude. That's what that looked like to me. My apologies. There's something playing in the background. Yeah. So yeah, y'all. Then I want y'all to look at the news. Pay attention to Attorney Crump, okay? Because this is why I say pay attention, because I notice every time something comes up, how is he the attorney for everybody? Okay, Attorney Crump and Travis Scott. I find him almost very questionable my own self. Okay. Let me look this up. I don't trust him, y'all, because he is in every situation that gets a lot of attention. He's always a part of it. So before we get there, let's look at the 9-year-old. Let's look at what happened to the 9-year-old, y'all, because we really need to pay attention to why we don't need to worship these celebrities and understand the magnitude of how it's actually not only claiming people's lives, but basically souls at this point. Okay, this young boy had no reason to be trampled upon in a crowd because people can't control themselves over Travis Scott. And he's not even a real person. He's a character, y'all. They made him up. They make all these people up. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to look at the article and the video about the boy. Here it is.
The operations plan for Houston's Astroworld Music Festival did not mentioned what to do during a crowd surge. Hello, I'm Steve Eager.
I'm Heather Hayes. Calls for an independent outside investigation into the deadly concert are rising. 8 people died, more than 300 treated at a field hospital on site, at least 13 hospitalized. Fox 4's Alex Boyer takes us through the problems with the concert's plans. Alex.
All right, I want to get to the point where they start interviewing the boy's grandfather. But I don't think they're going to show it, but this is him. This is the cute little boy right here that you see on the screen.
The youngest victim, 9-year-old Ezra Blount, is in a medically induced coma after his family said he was knocked off his father's shoulders at the concert. He has severe brain swelling. The Houston police have...
All right, let's stop right there, okay? His name is Ezra. Let's go back because everybody knows the name Travis Scott, which really is not a real person, okay? Let's send condolences and let's send positive vibes and healing frequencies, okay? Since people can worship and take place in this demonic vibrations of Travis Scott, why can't they do the same in a positive way and manifest the healing of this boy? His name is Ezra. Everybody keeps talking about Travis Scott, Travis Scott. Forget a Travis Scott, okay? If it were not for him, this boy would not be in this situation that he's in today.
He has severe brain swelling. The Houston Police and Fire Departments...
Let's go back. What is his name? Because it's power in words.
He has severe brain swelling off his father's shoulders at the concert.
Sisters being stomped on.
The youngest victim, 9-year-old Ezra Blount, is in a medically induced...
Ezra Blount. I just wanted to make sure I remembered his name, y'all. Because I think people get so mixed up in the whole theatrics of what took place that they overlook the victims as if they're nothing but just countless bodies, you know, just numbers. And actually, we're going to actually show you, not to be disrespectful, but I want to just examine the people that actually lost their lives for a second, because this is important. Because this whole stuff wouldn't be going on if people didn't die, nobody would really be paying this much attention to it. But because their energy and their souls were taken from this earthly realm, this is why it's gotten all this attention. Okay, so victims of the Astroworld Festival. Okay, because we can see their images up here too. Okay, here they are. Now, on the screen here, it had... I wanted to see their names and it had their ages. One was 14, one was 16. Here it is. I'm going to share this with y'all so y'all can see who they were. All right, here we go. So over here, if y'all can see this, it says John Hilgert, age 14, Brianna Rodriguez, 16, Jake Journer, 20, Franco Patino, 21. You have Axel Acosta Avila, 21. This is the guy that I really believe that they were surfing through the crowd because that looks like his face. And this is the one that passed away that they were working on the side of the screen. I mean, on the side of the stage, and they were trying to give him CPR. That's him, in my opinion. I think that's who this is. Then you have Madison Dubisky. She's probably Polish with that last name, 23. Rudy Pena, age 23, and then Danish Baig, B-A-I-G, age 27. So it's a wide range of people that basically went to this show, y'all. So that's why I said he has a very diverse audience of people. All right. So anyway, let's see. You know, Drake came out there. Drake, I can't with Drake because he's such an actor. Like all of this stuff is just falsehoods that they keep selling to the media, y'all. One last point that I'm going to make, and that's talking about the CEO of Live Nation. We're going to look up who that is, y'all, because while everybody keeps saying, oh yeah, Travis Scott should get sued. Well, you know who else should get sued? Live Nation. Live Nation should get sued, y'all. So let's look up the CEO. First of all, let's look up Live Nation, okay? Because this is not the first incident that Live Nation has had. Let's make this very clear, okay? Share the screen. And let's look up who the CEO is, Okay. Now, I'm not saying he's the one to blame, but he's the one with the money. Okay. So y'all know how lawsuits work. They go after the people with the money. So I worked in insurance. I know. Founder is Robert F. X. Sillerman. That's the founder, founded in 1996, y'all. Then there's a parent organization, which is called Live Nation Entertainment. These are the subsidiaries: Live Nation Music, UK Ltd, and House of Blues. And then there's more. So let's click on it. So whenever you see all of these, you see all of this stuff is related to Live Nation. So this is how a lot of people run their business, y'all. They have one parent company and they have multiple subsidiaries. I used to work in insurance with attorneys. I used to have to write letters to these attorneys. And we used to actually have to protect our insured, okay, from something that they were at fault for. So if they injured someone else, okay, we had to pay out for a bodily injury claim. We had to get them to actually sign something saying you release our insured and you release the insurance company and all of their subsidiaries. Not only that, but you also release the predecessors of this person, meaning if they have children, meaning if they have a wife, meaning if they have anybody connected to them. So you don't try to come back and sue them. So I just want you to see all the subsidiaries that Live Nation has. When everybody keeps talking about, ooh, sue Travis Scott. Do you know that all these people that got injured, and especially with the fact that there were deaths, do you understand the millions of dollars that people are going to sue for? So this is nothing but music is a multi-billion, not million, $billion industry, y'all. Okay. When people talk about, oh, it's Drake, sue Drake and Travis Scott. Drake and Travis Scott is paid by someone. Okay. So that's nothing to them, because if they just paid him whatever they paid him, trust and believe they got a whole lot more on the back end. And if y'all want to do the math, if y'all really, let's pull out a calculator real quick. Y'all can do this math with me. Oh, sorry, I had got a phone call earlier, y'all. But let's do this math, y'all, real quickly. If we do, say there were $400 for a ticket, and they said about 50,000 people came. Let's multiply it. 5,000,000. 50,000, right? Do y'all see what they made? Do y'all see that? That's how much money that they could have made off of selling those tickets. So these people knew what they were doing, okay? Now, let's get into, because I want to show y'all the CEO of Live Nation. While people keep talking about, oh, sue Travis Scott and Drake. I don't even know how y'all got Drake involved in this. I really don't. Michael Rapino is the Chief Executive Officer of Live Nation Entertainment. He was born in Canada. He has a spouse by the name of Jolene Blalock. Education is at Lakehead University, and his marriage location, he got married in Jamaica, y'all. So he's Canadian American, y'all. So whenever y'all pay for these concert tickets, y'all are making these people rich, okay? Y'all are making these people wealthy. Y'all could take $100 and $300 worth of tickets. Do you know an LLC only costs like $125 to get the organization of article for your business? I'm just saying, while people are out here worried about these celebrities. And since we're talking about celebrities, let's get into Cactus Jack, okay? Because many of you are not aware that Travis Scott endorses a brand called Cactus Jack. Do you all know who Cactus Jack is? Okay, most people would correlate it with Travis Scott. However, I've heard of Cactus Jack before, and something said, look this person up. And so I'm going to show you what a lot of these people do, y'all. Just like Jim Jones, okay, wants to be named after someone else. You know, Scarface wants to be named after an Italian. They are always doing this nonsense. So let's get into it. So since we're on the subject matter. No, not Cactus Jack Records. It's he's actually from Houston, you all. He was the vice president back in the day. And I don't see it coming up here, but we're gonna let me see. Cactus Jack. Let's see. Cactus Jack. 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 Cactus See, he done took it over. So, all right, let me put in vice president so y'all can see. Here it is. This is Cactus Jack, y'all. Okay. John Nance Garner, former vice president of the United States. Okay. Born November 22nd, 1868 to November 7th. So he died on November 7th. Pay attention to that number because this show that took place was on November 5th. All right. Now, known among his contemporaries as Cactus Jack, was an American Democratic politician. Let's look deeper into this, y'all. So, according to Wikipedia, you know, Wikipedia is not always 100% accurate, but we're just trying to get the quick rendition of who he was. All right. So that the president back then, let me see here, vice president of the United States. Going on, Garner sought the Democratic presidential nomination of 1932 presidential election, but he agreed to serve as Franklin D. Roosevelt's running mate in 1932. All right, somewhere in here it tells you that, oh yeah, here it was. He won an election to represent Texas in the United States House of Representatives in 1902. So do you think that when Travis Scott talks about Cactus Jack, you think that's just a coincidence? No, it's not. It is not. Why would he come up with something called Cactus Jack, y'all? I just want y'all to think about that stuff. Pay attention to a lot of these narratives that these made up actors and actresses, these characters are presenting in front of you. People be like, oh, he got a whole brand. Oh yeah, so what? So what? You can have a brand too, and your brand can actually stand for something. Okay. Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Everybody knows that's my brand. Brown Girls Are Beautiful stands for the beautiful women out there, the beauty queens. And I'm talking about not just the outer beauty, your aura, your essence, your soul, your whole entire energy. And I also celebrate our kings out there, the princes and the princesses. You all know at the end of my videos, I always tell you the same thing. Walk in your divinity, okay? And that does not mean worshiping anything outside of yourself. Brown Girls Are Beautiful wants to push the message that you are just as important as any of these made up celebrities, y'all. I don't celebrate other entities, right? Because you're celebrating a celebrity when you do that. So I want you to celebrate yourself. You all know that's one of my hashtags that I push on my Instagram page is hashtag celebrate yourself. Because if you don't, who else will? No matter what you're doing, if you are a musician and you're not making it in the music industry, and that's something that I told you I wanted y'all to watch, I'm actually going to post it under this video because I want y'all to really understand who these people are, all the way from Nipsey Hussle, all the way to Tupac Shakur. You all, people don't want to believe this stuff, but it is true. These people are all made up characters, okay? And you can't say this to people because they are so caught up in their feelings. They are so caught up in their feelings that they feel that if you talk about a celebrity, that you have just committed murder. You know what I'm saying? You can't say anything that they don't agree with. Because if you say something, they're going to get upset. And it's not to try to basically take away, you know, any type of talent that they may have. But you got to understand these people have been orchestrated, okay, into the forefront. These people got their whole flow from someone else, their whole style from someone else. They steal lyrics from other people. You don't hear about it because some of the people they steal from are overseas in other countries. Okay, I saw a whole thing about Lady Gaga, how she stole from this girl and how y'all wouldn't believe the magnitude in which they go through to perpetuate these characters to us as if there's something they're not. These people are not who you think they are. They're not. And so I'm going to share this screen one more time, and I want you to see the magnitude of how deep it goes. When they talk about Freemasonry, when they talk about the Baphomet, the stuff is real. You saw Drake throw it up, you know, the devil horns. He said, oh, throw up the H for Houston. No, that's not what he meant. Okay, so we're going to share this screen, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. It says you will never be a mainstream rapper. Some people should not ever be a mainstream rapper.
Bro, I finally figured out what I want to do in life.
What?
Bro, I want to be a rapper.
Oh, now I gotta act like I like this nigga music. Then he gonna go make more trash music. Then he gonna get a girl pregnant. Then they gonna struggle in life. Then he gonna try to ask me for some money, but I ain't gonna have it for him. Then he gotta become a factory worker and work 12-hour shifts just to make ends meet. God damn.
They say I'm no less than they.
Ask most people and they'll tell you that the rapper's style is all glitz and glamour. It's all about designer clothes and lavish mansions, where it seems ordinary people can transform into stars with mountains of money. Making it as a mainstream artist is supposed to be the key to happiness, popularity, and fulfillment. Everybody wants to be a rapper. But there's a side often left unmentioned. People do favors for those they know, while overlooking those that genuinely have a dream. Here's why you will never become a mainstream artist.
Then up to my head in it.
Nepotism exists in the music industry. And so does each level of society. It is designed to keep you out, while they give you trap music. Rap, it's an industry based on nepotism. It promotes from within. No matter how much talent you have. If you're on the inside, they can hire writers, makeup artists, and stylists to glamorize their puppets. It makes us believe that artists have real talent. Take a Lil Yachty for an example. Notice the lack of talent as he tries to rap.
Trying to stack for a championship ring, baby. Trying to stack, trying to do some real things, baby. Hold on. Hey, the beat was slow, so I had to give a rhythm verse. Oh, had to pull off in the black hearse. Oh, had to do it for a little beat with a curse. Oh, on me. Feeling the beat.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I can't. Do y'all hear this?
No, I never do that. I always give a written verse because I just don't want to go out like that. Yeah, if I was on the street, it would be spinning vinyl. They mad cause a nigga just went viral. They mad cause you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't hype me up like that. Now the kid really selling. In high school, I never was spelling. I think that's why they mad at me. They mad cause they fist trying to grab it. They next. Oh, my fault. You can't do that though. All right, one more time. You can't put the pressure like. Okay, my fault. Go. Okay. Hey, young nigga from the west side of town. Young nigga from the west side of town, red hair, gold teeth, but a nigga not a clown. Ooh, I'm trying to think what to do. I don't know. Yo, wait, tell me.
I'm not a rapper.
People who love
Now
Look,
when he comes
I'm about to murk him right here, right now. Give me a pen and a tablet, and I'm gonna let these haters have it. If you give me a mic, then Lil Fox is gonna grab it. Ooh, bars, y'all. Bars. Let me stop, y'all, because I really can murder some of these rappers for real, for real. And I'm gonna have a mixtape. It's gonna be called Lil Foxy's Chronicles, y'all. And I want you to check out my girl Soul Energy. That's SOULINNERG. She can rap, she can flow for real. So check her out. Y'all already know. But like, this don't make no sense. Let's continue.
back to the radio station, you can tell he was given a rider.
You want to rhyme? I know a bit I need. I need flavor.
I'm about to put Yachty on top of this beat here. Beats one, we're gonna let this record run real quick.
Yeah. Hey, Lucy Juicy, the joke's on you. I didn't grow up to Boosie. All I care about is feeding my family and getting out of that Camry. I'm in the Benz and I'm getting a Bentley. I'm reading text from last night. She said, I love how you bent me. I just bought a Benz and it said, please tempt me. You want to buy it, but you can't. So you're renting. You'll take it back in 6 months. If there's no denting, $7K for the BBS, white diamond dentals. They say, Yachty, yeah, you there? With the jingle bell rap, I'm cool with that, cause every look at my jingle, now I'm full with that. I finger roll the ABA in, top floor penthouse where I'm staying. I grew up watching Even Stevens. Now Steven ain't nearly as even, but I
Makes sense. Here's his father.
It's in my blood. I had the opportunity in the dark room with my dad.
Shannon McCollum, a photographer who works with all A-list celebrities. His father, also a retired photojournalist who worked with Muhammad Ali, Nelson Mandela, and more, which they all have been in and out of Lil Yachty's father's childhood home. Nepotism could be a good thing, but a bad case of nepotism is what we're seeing now, in which the whole world became subject to one idea. Everyone goes along with agendas, forcing things like the COVID shot, and agendas with fake police shootings on the public.
digital display of names honoring those who have died at the hands of police brutality. Today, Snoop Dogg and the Game are taking matters into their own hands by marching to LAPD headquarters.
You can't match hate with hate. You got to match hate with love, and that's what we came for today in a love offering to sit down and have some dialogue.
Their intent is to make California government aware that minority groups will no longer stand for inhumane treatment from law officials.
The entertainment business has been a total meritocracy right from the get-go. I believe some of these rappers are actually the relatives of said employees, producers, publicists, masons, DJs, ex-rappers, etc. Let's take Megan Thee Stallion, for example. Megan's mother, Holly Thomas, was also allegedly a rapper connected to DJ Screw, releasing music from 2001 to 2007. As a side note, I will admit that her alleged mother looks like a man. Sometimes I wonder if it's a play on words with her rap name being Holly Wood being associated with men and erections. Also, a stallion refers to a male horse. I'm not suggesting Megan Thee Stallion is a man. I'm saying there could be something involving transgenders in Megan's future script. For now, keep an eye out for Megan Thee Stallion's brother. I mean mother. Back to nepotism. We've witnessed a person say they wanted to be a rapper, work hard, grind, and suffer the years of sacrifice, only to become a local celebrity, with no connections, no Masonic groups behind them. They're under the illusion that a hit song is all it takes. Yet I've personally seen a major artist buy a local celebrity song, while leaving the original artist stuck performing it at local clubs. I will not mention the names. So why gamble with your life? Seeing a person go from obscurity to a known entity is inspiring, but it's also an illusion. How can what I've seen be an illusion, you might ask? It's simple, the house always wins. The music industry isn't too different from a casino. If you throw $100 in a slot machine, you'll get $90 back. You leave thinking, you weren't that bad. But you just willingly gave away $10 to sit down and press a button. Sit long enough and you leave and give them that $90 as well as hours of your day. That's the music industry. Every year there's enough rappers, new and old, signing deals, releasing songs, generating press, keeping the proverbial wheels turning, enough to justify the labels, enough to keep TuneCore and other aggregators in business. They sneak these artists in through sites such as SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitter, and in the past, MySpace. To give the appearance of grinding from the bottom, they send these artists out to book small venues and connect with local video directors, along with local studios. In reality, they're waiting on their time to be pushed into the spotlight. To us, it seems as if we saw them working hard to get there. But their connections are already in place, and they're well aware of the manufactured career they're leading. Most of them were never real rappers, hence Lil Yachty stating he's not a rapper. So ask yourself, why is he there? What's his purpose?
All right, y'all. So we're going to stop right there. I think you get the gist. I think you get the narrative of where I am going, the picture that they're painting. It gets deeper into it. They start talking, they go into Nas. They start talking about Nas. And actually, I think it's very interesting that, that we watched that video. I'm going to put that link to that video underneath here. So if you want to check it out, just go on the page and everything. If anybody wants to add any comments, you want to add on to the live stream, I can drop the link. If not, I'm going to be signing out and I'm going to bring this to a wrap and to a close. I want to say thank you to everybody that has joined me this evening. Thank you to everyone who has participated in the chat. Shout out to you all. Thank you, Solar God. I appreciate your love and support. But I'm going to be signing out, y'all. I have some things to tend to, okay? And I want to say, I'll give a special shout out to all my melanated queens, all my beauty queens out there. Special shout out to the true kings out there, all the true warriors. We appreciate you for protecting us. We appreciate all of the little princes and princesses continue to walk in your divinity. And as always, brown girls are beautiful. Want you all to stay well, stay blessed, And until next time, you all, take care. All right. Y'all, I'm going to start playing my little video in a second.
Get into it. Okay, get into it. Enjoy nature, y'all. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like water. It's nothing like beautiful waterfalls.